Imagine this story. An ordinary mod creator who loves Minecraft creates a popular superhero mod and a few years later receives an invitation to join the Mojang team. Sounds unbelievable, but it's true. Today you'll learn about the mod Fisk Superheroes and how its creator ended up at Mojang. Let's start with the fact that Fisk Superheroes has been downloaded over 4 million times. That's just the one listed on the official websites. I think there is many more in reality. The mod is completely free. There are no alternative versions, but in my opinion, its main problem is that it is released on version 1.7.10. Fisk, the mod's developer, first started playing Minecraft in 2012, when version 1.2.5 was released. His friends invited him to join their server, and even though his old laptop could only manage 10 FPS, that didn't stop him from falling in love with the game. Soon his friends introduced him to mods such as Take-It, and he became inspired to create something on his own. Philip had never programmed before, but his persistence and video tutorials from YouTuber SC Mons helped him to learn the basics. By the way, he stopped teaching people and abandoned his channel. Inspired by the TV series Arrow and The Flash, Philip began working on a mod in summer of 2015, initially intended to be only about the Flash. However, thanks to the huge interest of the community, the mod quickly grew into something bigger and was named Fisk Heroes. Developing the mod was not easy. He faced serious pressure and high expectations from the community. Several times he even thought about abandoning the project, but in difficult times, his friends supported him. Gegy's support was especially important, as she herself moved to Mojang and later invited him to join the team. Gegy is a developer from South Africa. She started working at Mojang in February 2022 as a software engineer. Before joining the Minecraft team, she worked on many projects, including Tropicraft, a mod that adds tropical dimension, which I have already talked about, and Jurassic Craft, a very popular mod that adds various dinosaurs. So she already had some development experience. Gegy and Fisk are old friends. It was Gegy who told him about the vacancy at Mojang and convinced him to try his hand. He applied, and after a while he got calls saying he had been accepted. He now holds the position of Java platform engineer and will be working on the technical aspects of the game, optimization, bug fixing and improving the Minecraft engine. In other words, he is now fully immersed in the game development, but he still doesn't want to abandon the development of his mod and plans to port it to the newer versions. By the way, I didn't just pull this information out of thin air. I wrote to the Fisk on Discord and he kindly answered all my questions in great detail. When I asked him what he would add to Minecraft without any restrictions, he replied something stupid or meme-like. But what exactly we will find out in the next April Fool's update. It's still a long wait, but we will wait in any case. But what exactly is the Fisk Superheroes mod? How did Fisk achieve his goal of becoming a developer at Mojang while developing this mod? Let's find out together. As I said, the mod is only available for version 1.7.10, which is very unfortunate. By the way, if you install these two resource packs, you get the impression that these are even new versions of Minecraft. In any case, the old textures won't prevent us from fully enjoying this mod. It all starts with bugs. Meet the Creetles. These are hostile bugs that only appear at night in most forests, but most often in mega taiga, swamps and dark forest. They are very strong and have a lot of health, so fighting them in early stages can cause a lot of problems, so be prepared. It's best to arm yourself with an iron sword and armor. Bugs drop shells, which are exactly what we need from these mobs. This is an important ingredient in crafting Iridescent Gold. In addition to this, you will need 4 ingots and 4 pieces of gold. Believe me, this is one of the most important items in this mod. In addition to this, you will need some ores. The first, perhaps one of the most important, is Tutridium Ore. It can be found in caves below level 32 on the y-axis. It is usually surrounded by speckled stone. If you mine it, you will only get experience and cobblestone, and very rarely a gemstone. But Tutridium will always drop a gemstone that looks like a grey emerald. Then comes Dwarf Star Ore, which can only be found in the desert and the Badlands biome, and only below block 16 on the y-axis. Vibranium, yes, the same one that only exists in Wakanda, can be found in Minecraft in the Savannah biome between levels 32 and 48 on the y-axis. Titanium Ore is generated throughout the overworld below level 32 on the y-axis. There is also Eternium Ore, which can only be mined with the Tutridium pickaxe, and the ore itself is only generated below level 5 on the y-axis. That is right next to the bedrock, so it is quite difficult to mine. Next come Olivine Ore, which by the way exists in real life. It appears everywhere underground. The mod adds exactly 2 dimensions, the moon and the quantum world. Each contains unique ore. On the moon, these are simply lunar versions of iron, redstone, titanium and olivine, while in quantum dimension we can find tetrite ore, which appears right on the surface. In general, these are all the ores you need to unlock and upgrade your suits. So how do you start creating them? It's simple. To do this, you will need the suit database. The recipe is simple: 4 iron ingots, 2 stone slabs, a crafting table, a stone, and Tutridium gem. There are many different animations in the mod, one of which is the database activation. When opened, a beautiful glow appears, and the interface itself consists of these beautiful icons. If you hover your cursor over them, they will smoothly enlarge and show what they are responsible for. The buttons at the top left are responsible for the interface. You can return to the main page, change the grid view, show only suits, hide already open upgrades, and return to the previous menu. Now that we've dealt with that, what can we do next? How do we actually open new suits? To be honest, players will have to grind a lot of resources. Each suit in the game has its own characteristics: defense, regeneration, melee, and ranged combat, as well as the binding elements. The player must unlock all of this to gain access to the different suits. I understand that it sounds very confusing, but it's only at first glance. It all starts with 2 suits, Captain Cold and Rip Hunter. These 2 heroes are from the DC universe. To get the first suit, you need to unlock protection as well as first and second level ranged combat. To do this, left click on the upgrade and another menu will open on the right with necessary items to unlock. In my case, it's 10 levels and 6 Tutridium gem. If you have enough materials, the icon will be highlighted in green. Click the unlock button, enjoy the beautiful animation, and you're done. As I said, you'll have to grind a lot to unlock the suits. The first suits are not that difficult to unlock. The main problem will be the experience levels, but the further you go, the harder it gets. After unlocking the necessary parts, you will need to unlock the suit itself, which also requires materials. Congratulations! You have your first suit. 66 to go. Yes, there are currently only 67 suits in the game, but there is a catch, which we will discuss a little later. Next, the player must create a special data drive for suits. The recipe is as follows: 1 iron ingot and 1 titanium ingot, 1 redstone and 4 pieces of titanium. You will receive a black data drive, which can be painted in one of the 16 available colors. All you need to do is place the die and any data drive on the crafting grid. You can place different suits on each data drive so you don't get confused. Once you have created the data drive, you need to load the suits into it. To do this, go to the suit database and click on this block with the data drive. A new menu will open with a list of all unlocked suits. On the left are the unlocked ones, and on the right are the ones you already have on your data drive. Select the one you want, transfer it, and close the window. An empty data drive differs from a data drive with suits in texture. An empty one will have no animation. But that's not all. Now you'll need a suit fabricator. It must be crafted from 2 titanium blocks, 1 glass block, 2 Tutridium gem, and 4 titanium ingots. Once you have placed this block, open it and you will see the graphical interface. Insert the flash drive into the left slot, and on the right side you can select the desired suit, if there are several on the data drive. Just right-click on it. Depending on the complexity and even the coolness of the suit, the number and type of resources required for its creation will vary. But every suit always requires a core. To create it, you will need 4 diamonds, 4 pieces of titanium, and 1 Tutridium gem. After placing the necessary components, click the print button. As I mentioned earlier, there are many animations in the mod, and creating a suit is one of them, and it's look very beautiful. Printing a costume takes about 1 real minute. After that, you can take each element of the suit into your inventory and equip it. Some suits can even give you special equipment, such as the Rip Hunter giving you a blaster. For some suits, the player will have to create the equipment manually. Of course, I won't talk about every suit and piece of equipment. It's better for you to explore everything yourself, especially since there is a lot of videos on YouTube demonstrating all the abilities. For example, as soon as you equip any suit, the abilities will be displayed in the upper right corner. For example, Doctor Strange has the ability to create a shield from his magic or cast spells. Of course, he can fly with his cape, but the most important thing is his list of spells. The player selects the desired spell on the wheel, and then a list of letters appears that must be pressed in the correct order for the spell to work. I would add each suit has its own characteristics and abilities. For example, Captain America can throw his shield, has almost 100% protection from blows, enhanced jumps, and so on. Funnily enough, if someone else pick up the shield, they can't throw it. Only Captain America can, because it's kind of his ability. Some equipment has upgrades, such as the shield. There are 2 types: normal and electromagnetic. Normal shields will not return after being thrown, while electromagnetic shields, like a trident with enchantments and loyalty, will return to the player. But to do this, you need to upgrade them. In the case of a shield, it's like an enchantment, so you need to place it on an anvil and give it 30 levels. Some suits have skins. For example, there is a Doctor Strange suit in the mod, but the suit itself has additional skins. How do you unlock them? It's simple. You will need a suit iterator. 4 vibranium ingots, 2 iron ingots, 2 redstone dust, and a tritium gem. The player must place the entire armor set in the block, and if the suit has skins, they will appear in the menu on the right. The skin does not affect the suit's powers in any way. It is purely a visual improvement. But that's not all. There are suits that requires a cosmic element. Without it, you won't be able to create the suit. Believe me, this is a task with a star. From time to time, you may come across a kind of Nexus dimension in the world. In fact, a square structure will be generated underground. It will look something like this. To dig inside, the player will need Tutridium pickaxe. It is a kind of structure with very strange blocks. Their texture moves when the player moves. The highly impressionable may even get dizzy. The player must only move on the stone blocks. If they stand on a dirt-like block, they may instantly burn up. This is the soil of the Nexus, and it cannot be mined. The most interesting thing in this structure is the supercharged Eternium. It must be mined with the same pickaxe. If you try to do it without another pickaxe, the block will not be destroyed, but instead will be exploded, and a message will appear in the chat. This too is not strong enough to destroy this block. After that, the player must unlock this upgrade in the suit database. But that's not all. To print such powerful suits, you need a cosmic suit fabricator. This requires 4 ingots of gold, a regular suit fabricator, 2 Tutridium gems, and 1 block of Tutridium. The fabricators work in the same way, except that the cosmic one can print cosmic level suits. The speed and everything else remains the same. But how do you find this structure? There are 2 ways. The first is to use the command /Fisk Heroes structure locate entity Nexus, which will show you the coordinates of the nearest structure. Unfortunately, the vanilla locate command only appeared in version 1.11. The second option is more complicated. The player must create a Martian Hunter suit. It allows you to pass through walls, roughly speaking, Spectator mod. However, Spectator mod not available in version 1.7.10. Thus, by legally exploring the caves, the player may stumble upon the Nexus. Okay, we still have 2 dimensions left, the moon and the quantum world. Let's start with the moon. To get to the moon, the player needs to create a Spectre or the Harbinger suit. I'll show you using the Harbinger. As soon as you equip the suit, you will be able to teleport. Just press the B key and teleport to where your eyes are looking. But if you look at the moon at the night and press the B key, the player will teleport directly to the moon. There, they will be able to explore a new dimension. In general, there is not much to do here, except that you can obtain large quantities of olivine. Teleportation back to Earth occurs in exactly the same way, only this time you need to look at the Earth. The quantum world is a dangerous place. To get there, you can use 2 suits, Atom or Ant-Man. After equipping yourself, you gain the ability to shrink. Your task is to shrink yourself and wait for the safe time to pass. This is a green experience bar. As soon as the time runs out, the game warns that the player's mass is critical, and after a few seconds teleports them to the quantum world. In essence, there is nothing to do here except mine ore, but the world itself looks very beautiful. How do you get out of it? Here it is more complicated. The player must find a special block, a density anomaly. It is not difficult to spot, as it is surrounded by blue blocks of unstable quantum matter. This block will pull the player towards and eventually teleport them to the overworld. In the quantum dimension, in addition to the blue block, there is also a red one, which will push the player away. What it is for? To charge subatomic battery to upgrade some equipment. But you need to be careful. As soon as the player places the battery, it will begin to absorb the energy of the anomaly. If you don't remove the battery in time, you will create a black hole and even get a special achievement. Speaking of achievements, there are quite a few of them here, and you can earn them as you unlock suits. Overall, they can even help you understand the stages of the mod. But besides that, some achievements unlock skins for suits. For example, if you fall from a high while wearing the Deadpool suit and survive with a half a heart left, you will complete this superhero landing achievement. This in turn will unlock hidden Deadpool skins. There are plenty of similar achievements in the mod. I would like to add that in addition to the standard suits, anyone can add their own in the mod. To do this, go to the Minecraft settings, click on the hero packs, and then click on the marketplace at the bottom left. Don't worry, they are free. You can choose anyone from the list and simply download it. All suits will be able for creation. In my opinion, this is a great solution. There are many other things in this mod that we could talk about for a long time, such as gameboi. There is even a cartridge that you can install and play in a minigame. Isn't that amazing? Unfortunately, there is only one game, but the fact that it exists is very exciting. There's even pizza and pizza dough, so I recommended playing with the mod. If I made a mistake somewhere, please correct me in the comments. I'll be very happy. The mod is very interesting, considering that it adds a lot of new mechanics to the game. Each suit gives its own powers and perks. Philip really knows his way around the code, and I think he'll be able to achieve better performance. He's already gotten to work and has managed to fix some bugs. Let's see how it goes in the long run. What do you think of this mod? Have you played with it? Did you like it? Write in the comments. While you wait for the next video, check out these ones. They are just as interesting. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash that like button and hit the notification bell. See you soon, because we're discovering Minecraft in a whole new way.